No! No! No!
Jack, what the f? IRL streaming has become a mainstay in the content creation sphere, and the problem with it is that you need to one-up yourself every time you leave your door. We've seen some of the players like Sneeko and Neon doing this one-upping culture time in and time out, but nobody takes the cake like this little dipshit Jack Doherty. He's literally built an online presence by being a nuisance to people in public. Now, the main problem with this is two things. One, it has become super lucrative for him to do these types of things.
Sorry.
That way would be better.
This way. I don't know which way to go.
That way.
This way, you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Oh, get wrecked by it.
And two, he has been what I would like to call a pioneer in this specific type of content, which is the biggest issue in today's society, is that too many people are followers and can't discern that even if it does lead to a bag, if you end up looking like a jackass, or more importantly in this situation, risking people's actual lives, then it probably should not be copied. And we thought it couldn't get worse with this guy. It comes to a boiling point over this weekend where he gets into an accident with his McLaren, ultimately risking the lives of the people involved.
For those of you that don't know, he was texting on his phone and yeah, crashed. As it seems like there's smoke or maybe a fire. From the pictures outside the car, you can see it was actually a pretty big crash and that it's in the wet. What made this worse is once he got out the car, his cameraman was injured, but he made him keep filming. Literally from the moment they crashed to getting into the ambulance, they don't stop recording. And the biggest update is that they're now both in hospital being treated for their injuries.
Now, because this is the internet and there's going to be an obtuse magoose down in the comment section,
you gotta applaud Jack here for at least having some sort of good judgment and leaving his seatbelt on.
no, I'm not gonna do that. I swear to God, I'm not giving out pity points or brownie points or whatever they're called because this dumbass is doing dumbass things. Now, I'm no expert, but the wideness of the tires on a supercar make it much worse to be in it when it's raining. Off rip, it's more prone to hydroplaning. And then when you couple that with the fact that it's actually slower, so you have to compensate with the extra speeds, it seems like this isn't even a car that's built for someplace like Florida when it's raining like this. That's Jack's first fucking mistake. The second mistake that he makes is literally texting while driving. The statistics behind texting while driving are so insane, especially when we talk about teens involved in this situation. And I don't know if Jack is a teen or not. I don't even necessarily want to fact check it. He has the brain of a child, so I guess it really doesn't matter what the age on his driver's license says. So if you combine the facts that it's a supercar, while it's raining, he's texting and driving, and he has to overcompensate with the speeds because it goes slower, this is already a recipe for disaster for anybody with a normal sized brain. When you take somebody who has half a brain and half of that half a brain is craving content and attention, you have obviously a recipe for disaster. And from my understanding, it's not very clear as to what he's doing. I don't want to say what I think he's doing on the phone. I'm categorizing it as texting while driving. Looking at your phone while driving is bad anyway. But there's this conversation about him actively looking at his chat while he's driving, which but what has to be the most mind-blowing, and I mean it's got the internet furious and me personally as well, is the fact that after having a crash where nothing but God saved this man's life and the people around him, Jack Doherty's first response is not the ambulance, but worrying about the damn content.
Oh, Michael, are you okay? Holy f, bro, my whole f car, bro. There's no f, Michael, here. Michael, do you have film on that phone too? Can you get out of the car? Do you want to take that if he doesn't have to? Wait, let him have that, let him have that. Let him have that, and then McKinley, can you just... I think your nose, just do this. Can you film on here, on the phone? And McKinley, just make it look good. Make it look good.
Prioritizing which angles and who can hold the cameras and get the most, that is insane to me, especially because his cameraman is literally bleeding from his head. I don't know if it's the vapes, I don't know if it's the Four Locos, or I don't know if it's the content injections that are in his body, but so help me God, this has to be the stupidest person I have ever seen. Inconsiderate at the highest degree, and this is somebody who shouldn't have the privilege of existing on the internet. Not only does he make sure that he captures the content right then and there while not really checking to see if anybody's safe, making sure that his cameraman, who clearly has some sort of brain injury, sits the fuck down. He then continues that type of behavior into the hospital where they're getting stitched up, sharing this private, intimate moment. But it doesn't matter to Jack because he has to make sure that what he needs to be captured is actually captured.
All right, guys, we're in the hospital after the crash. How you feeling, Michael?
Amazing.
Just getting stitches right now, but
This is nothing but people who live without consequences, skating through life, and finally, I mean finally, he is seeing some sort of repercussions for this. I'm actually very surprised, but I can also understand Kick has delivered a permanent ban to him because these are actions that can lead to big major lawsuits for them, and it's just stupid. I don't care what anybody says, having this on your platform is a form of advertising that, hey, we at Kick are okay with this type of stuff and this type of behavior, and we even encourage it because this is the stuff we put on our main page. So I am 100% glad and can give actual rounds of applause for Kick for doing something that should have been done, to be honest with you, a long time ago. Wait, hold on. I gotta say this. So I'm sitting here going over the video that just was recorded about Jack Doherty, you know, the one that you're watching right now, and I see this on my Twitter timeline. This is why I have no sympathy for somebody like this, because not only is he on TikTok live talking about please get my McLaren back, help me, donate these galaxies, etc., but now on his Instagram story, after the videos of him being in the hospital with his cameraman getting all the stitches and stuff like that, you can see him promote his OnlyFans. And a lot of people will be thinking this is clearly a pornographic attempt, he's a nasty person, etc., but there is a reason why he's doing this. It's because he has nowhere to go after being banned off Kick. Once you get banned off Kick, you literally have nowhere to go. These platforms do not want you. That is the edges of society, and after that, I don't know what the hell you can do. Now back to the video. Not only did he see the full consequences of Kick, but I'm hoping that he sees the full extent of the law or whatever his insurance company can lay down on him. We know earlier in this year when he had that KO at the Halloween party that his insurance decided that, hey, we're not going to cover anything that you have placed on us or tried to file with us because we're not going to keep up with your shenanigans. And I hope that this is another situation in which they follow suit. The problem is content creation has brain rotted these kids' lives. Jack believes that he has to stream because that's the way to be rewarded. And the way that he streams promotes this types of dumb antic. There's no way that he could have the glitz, the glamour, the fame, the money, the girlfriends, or whatever if he does not continue to do the things that he does, to the point where it actually bothers him in real life.
Over 10 people on a cruise, pay for everyone, get us nice ass rooms, manage everyone on this cruise, make sure everyone's having a fun time, film be the only one actually here working. I'm the only one here working. I'm the only one here working. Isn't that crazy? Yeah, I do, because I have bills every month. No one appreciates anything I do. You don't understand how stressful it is to be in my position.
Golden handcuffs is this concept where employers give financial incentives in order to keep their best employees. But the problem with this situation is that, Jack, you aren't one of the best employees. You don't do anything entertaining. You do dumb shit. And the whole time these platforms keep incentivizing you to stay on and do crazier things. But these nuisance streamers have no place in content for me. It was cool when it didn't involve anybody. And that may be even underselling it because it seems like for the longest time, it's always involved people. But now we're to the point where people's lives are actually in danger. This is a monkey see, monkey do world that we live in. And because you have the ability to do something doesn't mean that you should do it. Just because it makes you successful doesn't mean you should do it. Just because it makes you popular doesn't mean you should do it. Just because it makes you a whole bunch of money doesn't mean you should do it. We have willpower. We have self-control as human beings. So no, I can't sympathize with Jack in these situations, ultimately because nobody asked you to do this. And I've said this time and time again that ultimately when these content creators continue to do stuff like this, it only empowers those that are underneath them to try to maintain that level or surpass the level of stupidity that they put out every single day. And I know people aren't necessarily going to like where I'm about to take this conversation, but I feel like it has to be done. I feel like there has to be an element of race involved because the things that some of these white streamers get away with as opposed to some of the black streamers on these platforms is totally different. And I'm seeing it with my own eyes. I don't know if anybody else is seeing it.
No way. He drew blackface on this character. All right, this shit has stopped. Oh my God, bro. And he's been permanently banned from Kick. And this guy was bragging about liking
A minor.
They on my stream.
Oh my God, he said the word too.
Fake ID? Good. Good. I didn't even know they made those. Even who gives a f, you losers? Kill yourself.
Now, if we take some of those things, which are wild, extreme, sometimes dangerous, and we compare them to the likes of, I don't know, Kai or Speed, to me, it seems like it does not stack up at all.
Speed got permanently banned from Valorant. Here's the clip that got him banned.
It's a f***ing female talking to me. Get off the f***ing game and do your husband dishes, bitch.
Although Speed was out of line, it doesn't seem he's the only one displaying toxic behavior in the Valorant community.
Can you just tell me how to heal in the game?
Only the white characters can heal. Yeah, only the white characters can heal. I'm sorry.
At the end of the day, white, black, or otherwise, I am just glad that Jack Doherty is off of the platform. I'm hoping that Kick stays with this permaban. I don't care what Aiden Ross is saying about paying some extreme amount of money in order to get him back on the platform. People like Jack Doherty should not be platformed. I feel like there should be some sort of communal efforts to get other content creators banned, because people get so upset that platforms like Twitch or YouTube have become so restrictive, and that's why they flock to Kick and Rumble in order to stream content. But they have to understand the reasons why YouTube and Twitch had to get so restrictive is because at one point there was a Jack Doherty on a YouTube, there was a Jack Doherty on a Twitch, and they got there because people like this ruined content creation for other people on that platform. I'm not saying I agree with everything that goes on Kick and Rumble. I believe that those are where the edges of society go in order to create their content, but ultimately people will be forced to lay down the hammer on these platforms because of people like Jack Doherty. Outside of all that, because the content is the furthest thing, he could have literally taken somebody's life away, let alone his own life in this situation. So I'm glad that the cameraman gets to go home to his mom. Next time, if he hangs around with Jack Doherty though, and he continues to be rewarded for his content creation endeavors, I don't know if he'll be so lucky. Yo, fuck that little kid, gang.